watching how he handled each day, day in, day out. How much film he watched, how much he take care of his arm, how much he take care of his body, how hard he lifted. Just see his work ethic. That was the main thing for me. Now I think, asking a few pointers, just about, he's been through it, handling the media and handling all the hype. So just, asking, little things. I'm not going to try to bombard him with, what he did in his daily life, but at the same time, like I said, he's a great quarterback, one of a great friend, and just kind of learn as much as I can, from how he handled it, and just see, things he would have done over, things he would have done better. So.
Statistically speaking, you were the only quarterback in the nation last year to throw for over 4,000 yards, have a 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and rush for over 600 yards. I know that you fight complacency, but is there a moment where you kind of sit back and say, like, wow, that was a great accomplishment, that was a great season, pat myself on the back, and now get back to going?
No, I think that's a great question. I think not only, I try to tell myself, like what Brown said, I try to look at things I get better on. I think that's why you have family members. I think my dad and my mom done a great job of kind of, like I said, patting me on the back. Seeing the perspective. 1 year ago today, I was in battle, competing every day against a great other quarterback, and now I'm sitting here. The last year has kind of been crazy. It comes fast. Just enjoy it. But at the end of the day, try not to pat myself on the back. Just try to stay grounded and keep, like I said earlier, keep the main thing. The main thing that's winning games and do whatever I can to help the football team win.
Drake, one of the craziest games last year was up at Kid Brewer against App State. Now
oh yeah.
Come to you. How impressed are you with Coach Plugger, what he's done at App State?
Oh yeah.
What do you expect from them when you play this year?
No, yeah, I knew it was a trap game going up there to App State. We've had some great teams. That stadium was awesome playing in there. I've been up in Boone a few times, and they love football up there. And that atmosphere. We were walking in about 9:30, 10 o'clock for a noon game, and the whole student section was there. The whole students was filled on their sideline. So I'm excited for them to come here. I think that, what was it, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, Coach Brown's first year, they got us in Keenan, so you can't have things like that happen. So just take them seriously. They're a great team. They surprised me. They beat A&M at third place, so they've been some places, and Coach Clark's done some good things there. So praise them, and we'll be ready for them.
Drake, I know you have a lot of
all the hype and pressure that's coming with the season for you.
I think just take it with a grain of salt. I think the big thing is. Not letting it, like I said, keep you too high or keep you too low. The worst thing you can do is, go on social media and read the things that, they say about you. Just keep, I'm here to play football for North Carolina. All the other stuff come with itself, and, the season goes on. Just worry about week by week. Nowadays college football, every team's going to be good at getting transfer portal guys. The guys that aren't playing in, the bigger schools going to the lower schools, and the best guys from the lower schools going to the major schools. So just bring it every week and just enjoying it. I'm a college kid. I'm 20 years old. Just enjoying college, and I'm living with my brother in my apartment who goes to school there. So just enjoying it.
Drake, we know the level of competitors in your family. Were there any battles in the off season over the summer, whether that was with a football, a baseball, basketball, anything like that?
Yeah, you talking about this past summer or when?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. We just got this past weekend playing golf. I actually beat all three of my brothers for one of the first times in my life in golf. I'm heading down to the beach with them after we got this week off, so one of the last things before camp. We'll be playing pickleball. Me and Luke, love playing pickleball, 1v1. And anything you can find, ping pong. We go to some late nights in the facility. I go over to the football facility, and I think Luke beat me like 7 straight games of ping pong, and I keep on asking for another game. So Luke kind of gets the tail end of, I get a butt whooping from Luke, but we really like to compete. Anything we do, we compete, and just try to stay healthy. That's what my dad says, not to get too physical. One-on-one basketball getting a little too physical nowadays, so somebody's going to twist the ankle or something, so we try to stay away from that.
What kind of advice are they giving you ahead of the season?
Yeah, I think Luke, the big great thing about Luke, he went through it. He's been, in a setting like this, you can now oftentimes you get a brother to be in that same setting, handling the hype. I was watching some old interviews, of him, a few days ago. I think one particularly after the Duke game, and one, and just seeing said how he handled the media, and it's great having a brother and a dad who's been through it to give you pointers and just help you go through some things that it's not easy for a 20-year-old or 19-year-old to go through them. So just have somebody there, 2 people there, and my mom's great at it too. Just have you ask questions and see advice is awesome.
Obviously, you weren't going to go anywhere. How crazy was it after the season of communication from other schools, things they told you, things they offered you? You have any stories? Obviously, not any names.
No real stories. I think the best thing about kind of the way we handle that. None of them reach out to me. The big thing is someone contacted my high school coach. I love playing North Carolina. That's the main thing I'd probably say from all that happened. There's a lot of stories, a lot of rumors, go around of some schools contacting me. I never talked to anybody. I think I wouldn't do that without obviously Coach Brown knowing, or without obviously the team. So I think I love playing quarterback at my dream school. I wouldn't pass that up, and really for me it wasn't really any question to leave Chapel Hill.
You talked to Sam Howell, but he was in the same similar situation with you going into your junior season.
Yeah.
And he had the same decision that you had after this season. What has he told you about that?
Oh yeah, he's been great. Just the way constant communication. He's been awesome. We play golf a lot too. We hang out. We go on vacation together. So just having a guy there who's been through it in the exact same situation and going through it, just being able to somebody to ask what do you think of this, and what do you think of these people? We're talking to the same people. So just trying to find ways to use his knowledge and his experiences to my advantage.
Do you feel like you guys could do something special this season, the way things have been building, coming off a 9-win year?
Yeah, I think. Rephrase that. Sorry again. Rephrase that.
Do you feel like you guys have a chance to really do something special this year? Do you sense that in the room, like what coming off an ACC championship here, really could take the next step, maybe?
No doubt. I think that's the main thing on our mind. ACC championship. I think anytime you have Coach Brown. Guys like John, leaders on this team who want to lead, who are pushing guys in summer workouts, who want to be great. I think a good thing is destined for us. So just trying to, as a quarterback and the leader of the team, just trying to do my part. And I think looking for a special season it'd be an understatement. I think that's the goal. That's what's on our mind, and I think we got the talent. Just got to be, like I said, I think player-led team is the main thing, and not losing games ourselves. I think for me, just keep protecting the football, not turning it over, those things and penalties and stuff like that. Just trying to minimize those some of the film we've been watching back, and Coach Lindsey's been harping on. Just not beating ourselves.
I'm sure you've watched the film for the last couple of 3, 4, 5 games.
Oh yeah.
What exactly do you think went wrong offensively, or changed offensively? The defense is adjusting to y'all? Was it something that y'all did differently? What happened over that stretch?
No, I think starting with that Georgia Tech game, I think we had some guys out. Obviously, I didn't play my best game. The way they played, they pressed us up outside. They double teamed Josh. They schemed us up well. Obviously, they got after us a little bit up front. But I think we still had a chance to win that game. I think we were up 21-7 going to half. 17-0. We were up 17-0. Yeah, that hurts. It hurts to say that. I think we played that team over from there at the same point. I think it'd be a different story. NC State, I think what they do defensively is awesome. They drop 8 and they'll bring coverage 0 in the same look. So just like I said, finding ways that teams will play me. I think as a quarterback going into it, I think a lot of teams play me different. Clemson played me different. They didn't really do what they did against us, against anybody else. These teams.
Into year 2, how much did you learn from that? And how much can you use?
Oh yeah, watching the games over and over, seeing what they do, seeing how teams are going to handle me. I think that's the main thing. I think because I'm a little different than a lot of quarterbacks or offenses. I think the way we throw it around the yard and the way we can I can run with my feet and just extend plays. Teams are going to try to make me stay patient, and I got to learn to kind of take that and just take what the defense gives me. So.
Right. The experience at the Manning passing academy and
Yeah.
with Jordan Travis, what was that like? I'm sure you enjoyed it. What was that whole thing like?
Yeah.
What all did you guys talk about?
I want to sell. Riley Lear was my roommate too, so got became good friends with Riley. Yeah, 4 too. Devin Lear was in there, so a bunch of old ACC guys. So it was all of us in there. It was awesome. Manning camp is it's one of the best things I've done. As a quarterback, going down there and not only teaching young kids, but getting to hang around all the guys and just to, like I say, we're all going through the same thing, relate to another, and get to hear knowledge from two of the best ever. Peyton and Eli, and just hang around them and Cooper. It was an awesome experience, and get to know those guys. Me and Riley just played golf last week, so just extending communication. Obviously, still a rivalry, and when the game hits, it's no friends in the field, but Riley's become a good friend, and Jordan's awesome down there. So just getting to know the ACC guys. They're all great dudes, and that's the cool thing about these guys.
So the stories were flying there in the room. those guys?
Yeah, oh yeah. You know, Riley, we replayed our game like 10 times. He said, you know, man, I think his kicker missed a big field goal, and we went down there, 2 minutes left. He said, I knew it was too much time, so it was funny stuff. Yeah, it's good story. Yeah, what's up, man? What's going on? You good? I can't really reach it. There it is. What's going on? You good? Yes, sir. What's going up? Toughest defense? That's a good question. You know, I think the ACC, you know, I think you can't sell Clemson short. They got some of the best guys running after you. Clemson's good. NC State's had some good defenses over the years. You know, anybody that gets after me, you know, I try to think that they got a pretty good defense. So I try to run away from them, but it's tough sometimes. Say that again. Oh, wow. Ohio State, hey, he must be a good player. Ohio State's a great team. So I was hanging out with Marvin Harrison Jr. the other week, so that's pretty cool. I will. Yeah, there you go. I will. Yeah. Okay, I will. Yes, sir.
Hey, Trey, the promo that you and Nate did.
Yeah.
For the ACC Network. All right. I mean, was that camera tricks or did you?
I'm not gonna say anything. It may have been knocking. We were about the 30-yard line, and not to ruin the video, they CGI'd it. Yeah, I didn't put enough effort into it to throw it 80 yards. I just took a 3-step drop and homed it. I could maybe, if I warmed up a little bit and get going, get about 70, but 80, that's pushing it. That's pretty good work, wasn't it? That video was pretty good work.
Yeah, you released it pretty easy.
I know, yeah. It's a little too obvious, so.
Drake, with Heisman expectations attached to your name, NFL draft, we're talking about the ACC championship expectations. There. How do you stay in the moment throughout the season? Yeah,
I think just going by day. I think, you know, letting anything in the past kind of haunt me and, you know, like not look too far ahead to, you know, like I said, December when the ACC championship is or, you know, some of the January award stuff. So just you know, keep what matters in football. That's winning games and going after week by week. Like I said earlier, college football nowadays, teams are, you know, they're getting better, and all these teams, you know, nobody's, you know, an off week. You got to bring it every week, and like we saw last year with Georgia Tech, anybody can beat you any week. So just trying to, you know, get these guys going and coming in for 13 weeks, you know, every day and showing up every week. That's what makes the good teams great, and that's what we're striving for.
After what you accomplished last year, what was left to drive you in the offseason in terms of building a time?
Yeah. No, obviously aspirations of you know, getting back to the ACC championship. I think we put our best foot forward here. That wasn't, you know, our best effort. We had some things in the red zone. I could have done a better job. And just looking back at the games, I think particularly the negative plays, you know, seeing what I could have done better. I know I missed some throws. I left probably about 500 more yards passing out there from last season. And just being smart when I'm running. You know, knowing when the smart time to run and get down, and knowing when you try to break some tackles and get in the open field.
On the flip side, what were you most pleased with last year that you kind of want to model and, I want to do exactly that again this year? Yeah, I think, you know, obviously I pride myself on my turnover ratio, touchdowns and interceptions. I think there lately I kind of worsened that, but, you know, I think the first 10 games, I think, you know, I was pretty pleased with my turnover ratio and. Pretty pleased. What else? I think I did a good job of spreading the football around. I think we hit a lot of different guys. Obviously, Josh, the playmaker he was. You know, I was trying to find him because he's a great player. But at the same time, we had a lot of guys, you know, with the 90-yard games, 80-yard games, 4 catches here, 3 catches there, and I think just finding more ways to incorporate the running back in the passing game is another thing I'm looking at to kind of do better. And just check it down when the defense doesn't do anything. And I thought I ran the ball pretty well, though, last year as well.
Under the new offensive coordinator, how is the offensive philosophy changing, and will the run-pass balance change as well?
Yeah, obviously, you know, football. You know, the game of football is about, you know, running the football and stopping the run. So obviously, I think running the football is a main emphasis. But at the same time, you know, I like to drop back there and do what I can do. So just trying to find an even balance. And Coach Brown said earlier, we're not trying to change the passing game and then, you know, reinvent the wheel. We're just you know, keeping the plays we like and incorporating some new stuff from some new minds and just kind of trying a good balance because, you know,
running the football opens up a lot of things, play action, and they can bring more guys in the box that leaves one-on-ones. So I think we'll get some defense some trouble. So just finding ways we can use our personnel and to the best of our advantage.
Drake, there's been a lot of talk about NIL legislation lately. I'm just curious, from a player perspective, would there be any changes you would make to the current NIL landscape? Something that maybe is better for the players?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think one of the best things, I think I heard it. I don't know who I heard it from the other day. Just I think kind of like the NFL creating a salary cap with NIL, that where each team and each league can spend the same amount of money on players. Whether how much you're giving players, just even earning money company wise. I think that's a different. That makes it tough question. But from the university itself, with collectives, I think the teams with more money are going to get the better players. So just trying to find a way to even out that spread between all the ACC schools. But at the same time, you get in that argument of Clemson's got more, they raise more money, and versus us or down there in Florida State, they got a lot of down there, so that's kind of capping them. But at the same time, I think it even it out and kind of not make a lot of teams heavier than the other.
Would you be comfortable if all that money from all the collectives was public rather than private? If it was kind of like the money was out there, similar to like we know what NFL players make, would that be better for you guys or worse?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. I think it's a lot for college kids to have their public knowledge out there, especially if you're an 18-year-old, getting paid. It's a little different when you turn professional. But I don't know about public. But that's a good question. I think it'd be good for public knowledge to be within the team, just so everybody's honest and everybody knows what's going on. But public knowledge with in the entire world, I think it'd be weird going in class and a student beside you says, hey, you're making $50,000 a year. What's going on? So
what about legislation to protect you guys, like help you find better representation, like legitimate stuff? Do you think that's needed right now?
I think it's it's a big deal. Try to some people out there are taking advantage of college football players that may not have great people around them to make decisions. I think that's when the college football programs I think can step in, and I think North Carolina does a great job of kind of taking care of us and being smart with who we talk to and who we shake hands with. So just like I said, protecting us. I think protecting college football players. That's the main thing every college football player wants. Make smart decisions.
You talked about anything
Thanks,
you learned
yeah.
from that game, take away from that game to grow and improve as a player?
No, yeah, I think first off, take what defense gives me. I think I try to stretch the field some plays. I should have just checked it down and down there in the red zone. Just find ways I can hurt them, in the air and on the ground. I think the first drive I ran one in, and I think they were worried about me running a little bit. But they got great players, so I think the best thing for Clemson is before the snap, we kind of study them up down there and study them up, every look they got. But like I said, they threw some different stuff at us that we didn't see in the film. So they brought in some new personnel, and they got great players at the end of the day. They're going to have players make plays. You're not going to win every play. So just bouncing back from negative plays and going back after it.
5 games without Antoine Green last year, 3 games without Josh Downs.
Really?
Does that better equip you guys coming into this season having gone through that?
Oh yeah, I think some of my best friends were my roommates the first 2 years. Gavin and Kobe stepped up big. Bryson in my class, another guy, and guys like John and Kamari. I'm using tight ends more. I think that's sometimes when we played our best football. We weren't narrowing in on just trying to get Josh and Antoine touches. Like App State, we threw it around the yard, not having them out there, and we just played football. Went out there and played, and not worried about hey, if Josh one-on-one, throw him here, or if Antoine's got a one-on-one fade, try to look at him here. So it's like those are the games where it's like you're just going out there playing football and not worrying about which guy would get the ball and just taking what the defense gives me.
As a Charlotte kid, how cool is it to play here, especially in high school? You're supposed to play here, but COVID took that away.
Yeah, I know. That was one of the killer things. We were supposed to play Charlotte Catholic my senior year here, and COVID took that away. That was going to be really cool. I don't know if it was Catholic. It may have been South Point. South Point? It was South Point. Yeah, it was South Point. My fault. Coach Cavick, my old high school coach, he still talks about that, how much of a bummer that was. And, I was talking to Sed earlier. I played Sed in this same city twice. I think we whooped them both times. But just having all the guys, Powers from here, he won a state championship here in Charlotte. A lot of the guys, some of my best friends, Bryson Nezis from Charlotte. Just having those guys coming back here and playing in front of our home city, and games coming up here, going to Carolina to play the Panthers games, and just having that feeling is pretty cool. So I think we need to try to find a way to win one here. We played very well in Charlotte, so just trying to change that narrative and have fun. This is what you dream of as a kid. So getting that opportunity to play here is awesome.
Sorry, you talked about Clyde Christensen in there. What are kind of one or two things you've been able to pick up from your time with him so far?
Yeah, just watching some tape back of Tom and those guys. How consistent they are mechanically. I think sometimes I get a little antsy back in the pocket. They get my feet to different places. The main thing I saw from Tom and Peyton and those guys, how consistent they are with their footwork and their throwing motion. No matter what the defensive lineman was here or pushing them here, they got back to the same spot and everything looked the same. Just knowing that and Coach Christensen just studying the game, how those guys study. Looking back at some of the old Peyton's pregame notes, that stuff's awesome. I love that type of stuff. You don't get the opportunity every day. Just kind of looking at that type of stuff and, like I said, soak it all in.
You talked about the quarterback fraternity when you were up there, and Riley Leonard talked about meeting you at Pasadena and all that stuff. What is it about quarterbacks and kind of that fraternity? You guys are, obviously competing against each other, but in some ways you're all in it together.
Oh yeah, I think we're all going through the same thing. Riley's become a good friend. He was my direct roommate down there at the Manning camp, and we basically did everything together. And, we realized we turn it a year backwards, and I'm probably hating Riley's running a 70-yard touchdown on us. So just getting to know him and see where he's from and talk about some of the same conversations and seeing some of the stuff our defense does to him and what his defense does to me. Just talking like that, you don't get those conversations from anywhere else. How genuine these guys are. Sometimes you think these guys won't be as cool as they are, and they're awesome. So I've been a big fan of everybody I've met in the ACC and even out of the ACC as quarterback. So it's been awesome to get to know those guys and pick their brains and see what they're going to do.
Riley mentioned there might have been some trash talk, though, that he brought up the 70-yard drive. He might have mentioned some officiating.
Yeah, I don't think it was officiating. He did mention that, I forget what the penalty was. I don't know if it was something with the lineman downfield or something. I'm not sure what it was. I think you remember being mad at it. But yeah, it's always trash talk. It's competitive. It's Duke Carolina. It's a rivalry. It's obviously not the basketball rivalry, but hey, we're still bad blood between down Tobacco Road. So I think that game will be tough. Duke's got it going. They got some good players. Coach Elko's doing a great job, and Riley's a great player. So we got our hands full, and they come to our place. But we'll be ready.
Coach was just talking about you're getting other guys involved with NIL opportunities and the commercial that you guys did with I think the offensive lineman maybe?
Yeah, who was talking about it, you said?
Coach just now.
Oh, yeah.
So what was that all about, the commercial with the lineman?
Yeah.
And how, as the leader, as a guy, do you kind of feel obligated or, what is your feeling on making sure everybody, the pie gets split up and everybody's...
Oh, yeah. I think that's a big thing, making sure everybody gets taken care of. That matters to me, especially my linemen. I think they had a heating and cooling company come to us and come to me and wanted to do something with commercials. So I got my linemen out there. We were all in our jerseys on the field, and they had some of their heating and cooling units out there, and they had some lines like, "We protect our quarterback," like this company protects your house with cool air and stuff. So it was funny. It was awesome to get some of those guys out there and get them incorporated. It was more funny than anything. They enjoyed it, and just trying to get them, and I'm trying to get some little gifts. I got them some headphones during the season. I got some sunglasses for the receivers. I got them Jimmy's seafood thing with the receivers. So just trying to incorporate everybody. I think I need to do a better job of incorporating the defense more. Try to take care of my guys on the offensive side. But at the end of the day, it's a team thing, so I didn't get everybody involved. But I try to take what the blessings that are coming to me and try to provide them and spread them around to the team. That's what it's about.
How much does that really contribute to chemistry?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think you do something for somebody. I think it tends to go in the right direction. They care about you, and it's genuine. I try to do genuine things and let them know that I care about them, and not just my teammates, but as a friend and outside of football. I try to spread around and go eat with some guys, and I need to take the linemen out more because we got the season's approaching fast, and I take them out for dinner more. So some of those guys are my best friends. Corey Gaynor, some of those guys, they're awesome. So.
Very cool. Jay, kind of going off of that a little bit. NIL pretty much started your true freshman season. That's kind of when it kind of really got it. How has that kind of impacted? Has your college experience been kind of different than maybe you anticipated it? Since it is pretty much.
I was honestly just shocked. When you first hear the news, obviously you're excited as a college football player to kind of get rewarded. But at the same time, I wouldn't. Obviously, I pictured myself of starting this past year and having a great season. But the things that come at you, they come at you fast. I necessarily not ready for, but it threw me for a loop a little bit. Some of these things are cool. I was out there with the Rock out there in LA a couple weeks ago doing a little commercial shoot. So that stuff you don't experience that every day. NILs has changed our lives as college football players, and like I just mentioned, trying to get other guys on my team involved and doing what matters.
Brought in two talented transfer wide receivers.
Yeah.
What kind of role would you play convincing them to come, and how has it been developing chemistry?
Oh yeah, I was definitely the main recruiter. I'm trying to get the guys that I want. Sitting down there, watching through their game tape. I was there in the very early stages, watching their highlight films and watching their drop passes on PFF. So I played a big role. I wouldn't say I was a closer, but I think I played a big part in getting those guys, getting Tez and Nate here, and I think they'll make big dividends in this season. And I'm just looking forward to having those guys out there and get back to throwing some passes. It gets me amped up. In here talking about all this football and not got another month to wait. So.
What skill set are you looking for in a receiver? And you say you're watching some films. What are the skill sets you're looking for to fit with you?
Right off the bat, I think just catching it, how they catch it, how they pluck it. Is it awkward? How they plucking it? The best thing a receiver can have is you don't got to throw it right in stride or right in their numbers for them to catch it. They got a catch radius. How natural they look. Making catches outside the frame and just love football. I think that's the main thing with receiver. A lot of times receivers they kind of be the cool guys and. They want to make the flashy plays, have all the swag on. These guys that love football want to get better, watch tape, and really ask me to throw, not me just always, hey, come over to the facility and let's toss it around. Guys that are asking me to come get extra work. That's the guys I look for. That's the guys, you don't put myself around. And these guys that want to make me better, not just me, dragging them over to the facility to catch balls.
And how do you feel about this receiving corps?
Oh, yeah, I think it's been the best since I've been there. I think those guys, I haven't, in the group chat, football group chat, we're texting them, hey, I'm going to go throw at 1:30. I think I had times where every single one was out there. So I think that means a lot to me. And that stuff pays off, And it may just be on air, but, that back shoulder fade or, a dig across the middle, sometimes they'll be, that replicating that exact throw is going to pay off. So.
With a deep fraternity of quarterbacks, one being Shador Sanders, who's just ahead of you in NIL, have you had a chance to really compete with him at all, or
with Shador? Nah, I think over there on the West Coast, you don't really run into many of those guys on the East Coast. I know he's a great player. They got to go in there in Colorado. That'll be fun to watch him do his thing. What do you mean by just ahead of me? What do you mean by that?
Just rankings wise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think obviously, any way you compete, if you see Colorado in a bowl game or something, but I try to worry about my play. I know he's a great player, and Colorado's got some big expectations, so it'll be interesting to see how they do this year.
Greg, how do you decide which of these opportunities that you decide to pursue? Do you have a team around you? How do you decide which of these NIL opportunities you're gonna do and which ones you're gonna turn down? You've turned down a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think the main thing is just how does it look on myself, my reputation. I think that's a big thing. I try to include some companies and do some things with tables, fundraiser stuff. Just give some mainly giving back and trying to even that out, not just trying to take in the ones that pay you. Just trying to find a good mix and like I said, trying to find something that works my time. I don't want to spend all my time around NIL. I'm a college kid who wants to have some downtime, so just trying to do things that don't involve me. It's going to put my life into trying to get a check. So
had the one with the Rock come together.
Good. How are you? Yes, sir.
So just a couple of quick questions for you. Last season, what was your favorite play that you cultivated, on the cusp during game day?
That's a good question. I think down there in Miami, we had a guard pull play action to Josh down in the goal line. I was getting tackled. I threw one up to Josh, and he caught it. Got hit a couple times and fell in the end zone. That one comes to mind. Obviously, that last play against Duke, that one comes to mind. Throwing a game-winning touchdown. That one was probably one of my favorite ones. So just any time where we in the game, a big play that ended up in a win is probably the ones that matter.
More closer to the heart, community involvement. So community involvement is very important to everybody.
Yeah.
NIL's helped out a lot with that. You famously turned down a reported $10 million NIL transfer deal. I've heard that was just awesome.
It's just gonna be $50 million in a couple days.
It's all over Charlotte Reddit. But have you utilized your NIL deals to help give back to the community? And if so, what's your favorite program to give to and work with.
No doubt. I think one of the best things I did this offseason was with Sam Howell. Was in May. We had a table fundraiser, a company called Table. It's it feeds hungry kids in Orange County, right around Chapel Hill. In Orange County, I think the stats one in every. I think it's every 3 or 4 kids, goes hungry in each day in Orange County. So we raised. We had a fundraiser. We had some things we sold. Like Sam was selling some tickets to Commanders games, some cleats, and Tyler Hansbrough put up a jersey. One of the great basketball players there. We think we raised over $300,000. For a company that a nonprofit company that raises money to feed hungry children in Chapel Hill is one of the coolest things I thought we did.
Awesome. And last question. Which of your brothers, or was it your father, who helped really build your competitive nature?
I think I probably have to say all of them together. I think it started with, obviously my dad and mom, they were real competitive, both 3-sport athletes in high school in Charlotte. But at the end of the day, we all love competing. Luke's probably the one me and him go at it the most with banter. So any time of day, you'll catch us competing. So that's the main thing.
How did the deal with The Rock come together, and how cool was it to meet?
Yeah,
some of those
that was awesome. I think The Rock, he was awesome. He was as big as you think he looks. He's a great dude first off, and he took the time to come and learn about our lives and our stories, and did a photo shoot with him and those guys. I got to meet some of those other guys. One of the DBs from Miami that I threw an interception to was talking trash, Cam. So Brock Bowers was awesome, and some of those guys, Angel Reese, and actually one of our Maye Gaynor is her brother. She's a softball player that's down there. Her brother's a Mario Gaynor who's keeping the in for us. So just gotten to see a small world and talk to those guys and see their stories. And obviously, all come together for a Rock photo shoot's pretty dope. So it was awesome.
Drake, I know we've asked you a lot about the new additions, things like that, but what makes this year's kind of offensive? I know fall camp and everything has happened yet, but what do you think makes this year's offensive attack unique to last year's? Just with new receiving core, new offensive coordinator.
I think the main thing is a second year of me. I think that's a big deal. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of what defense they bring at me. So I know a year under my belt, I'll be hopefully a better player and have new experiences. And also, I think it takes the first few games to kind of realize what your identity is and see who's making plays and who's kind of taking a big role and who's taking a smaller role than I thought and who's making bigger plays than we thought. So just kind of shaping that aspect in the first couple games and then catching up with what we know and taking that on the run and running with it.
For sure, and then going off that, you mentioned that year of experience down on the field as a starter. Are there any differences in preparation going into this season now versus last year?
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd probably say is kind of compare. Obviously, we'll have some games that hopefully, other than South Carolina, we'll have a game on everybody else that season. Just comparing, if we're playing the same team, comparing, what they're doing to what they did to me last year, seeing if there are any differences. And obviously, new personnel, you're always facing new guys and seeing, how he's going to impact the game. But at the same time, just looking back and keeping the same approach. I try to keep the same approach, not try to change anything up, and not trying to, like I said, reinvent the wheel. So.
Drake, what is the NC State rivalry mean to you? What are you looking forward to this fall?
Yeah, I think anytime NC State and North Carolina are going at it, it's going to be a rivalry. I don't think we like them; they don't like us. So I think they got us last year. I could have made some plays to make that a different story, but they got a good team. They've had a good program. They've done a good job over there, and they're too close to Chapel Hill for us to keep. I think 2 in a row, maybe 3 in a row we've lost. I don't know the stats. 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Sam won his sophomore year, so 2 in a row is too much. Even 1 in a row. So flip that script and get back at them this year. Going to their place will be a rowdy atmosphere. I'm looking forward to it.
How many ticket requests you get for this one for the opener?
Yeah, shoot, I've got probably 15 already. That's the thing you love about playing here in Charlotte. Everybody wants to come. We got old friends, old coaches around here who want to support. And this city means so much to me. And my brother lives about a block away. He's down there working downtown. So it's awesome. Charlotte's a great place, and it means a lot playing here.
Drake, you kind of spoke to, forming that identity, and Coach Brown and Coach Lindsay have both really emphasized the run game.
Yeah.
You were Carolina's leading rusher last year, I believe. How, with kind of a healthier running back room, are you hoping to take some of that pressure off? You guys were a little bit injuries in that department last year, and kind of help take some pressure off of you and the offense in general, getting some big runs in the first half?
No doubt. I think anytime running the football opens up, like I said, play action opens up doors for one-on-one matchups. So running the football is the game of football, sport of football. Running the football and stopping the run. So just finding ways to balance that out. I think we got a great room. We got about 5 or 6 guys that can tote the rock. So just find which one steps up, which 2 or 3 may step up and contribute to big plays. But at the same time, I like to do my thing back there. So not trying to marry the run game, because I like to think myself can make some plays back there with the ball, and just find a merit to find an easy yardage. I think throwing some screens or throwing some shovel pitches here and there for easy yards, and just making it easier on us so we're not behind the chains.
Are those screens and shovel passes something Coach Lindsey's kind of incorporated throughout spring practice and then over the summer?
Yeah, I think anytime new offensive coordinator is, he brings some stuff, some wrinkles like that are good. That these ACC coordinators, defenses haven't seen yet from us. So just finding ways for those to get new yards and get easier yards, and making it 2nd and 7 versus 2nd and 10. And, just find ways like that.
You told us back in the spring one of your points of emphasis this offseason was to improve your footwork.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the work you've done, the progress you've done?
Yeah, I like to say now when I'm on air, I like to say I'm satisfied, but it's a different ball sport when live guys are coming at you. You don't really get a good gauge in fall camp. You get a better gauge than you do in an air because guys are around you. But until those guys are able to hit me, it's a little different story. So I think I'll gauge that at the end of the season. But I'm satisfied with my work this off season, and I feel like I put in the good work footwork wise to make a difference, and I'm hoping it pays off.
I know that was one of the important factors when you talked to Coach Lindsey before he was hired. Was about
Yeah.
footwork. How has that relationship gone with him, specifically in the realm of footwork?
No doubt. I think Coach Lindsey, the best thing about him is, from all 5 of us in the room, he wants the same footwork and the same drop on each play. So he's hard on us. He kind of lets us feel it out on a play. What all of us, us 5 in the room, think is the best footwork for that play. And if he doesn't see that footwork on that play, he's going to get on you. And I think that's the best thing about being coachable and him getting on me. I think that's great. I don't do everything right. I don't plan on doing everything right this season. So we're gonna have some mistakes, and I'm gonna have some stuff I need to clean up. And I think he's been a good job of staying hard on me and keeping me honest.
I was just talking to Cedric about the difference between the noise around the team now as opposed to 2 years ago. He said there are much more loud voices that resonate as opposed to 2 years ago. He named a bunch of guys on defense. John says it's like that on offense. Is that what you've seen as well?
I think a lot of guys that have some years of work. That's the big thing. It's hard to create honesty and trust within your teammates if you aren't putting it on the field and in games. And guys like John said, they've done that. They've guys, you don't want to speak too much and yell too much because they're going to stop listening to you. So I think we've had a lot of different guys, kind of a core group. We got a leadership council that we have on the team that guys can go to and go within players. John and Seth are both on the leadership council. We go to guys and we can say, hey, this guy may need to pick it up, or this guy, what do you think of him? And just go to guys and keep everybody honest and try to carry that bottom tier of those guys and bring them up to the level of trying to surround ourselves with guys that want to be like us. So that's the main thing.
Drake, I think the last year there was a lot of speculation about other schools offering things to you. Can you give me an idea of what sorting through all that stuff is like?
Yeah.
How many folks to go?
Yeah, I think the best thing about that situation, I was telling you earlier, is I wasn't really in any contact with any college, and I didn't want to be. I think that's not kind of represent who I am and what this university means to me. I would have, if anything would have happened, which I didn't plan on it, because this is my dream school. I love playing quarterback for the University of North Carolina, and I would have went to Coach Brown and handled it the right way. I think all the rumors behind the back stuff, I don't think that was portrayed the right way. I think even the Pittsburgh coach, I'm not sure where he got that number from. I wasn't even aware of it. So I don't think a lot of the rumors kind of arise and went kind of behind the fence of what I was aware of. So I just never planned on leaving North Carolina. This school means so much to me, and I had to post a social media post about I was staying, and I didn't think I needed to do that. I thought people would kind of figure that out on their own. But it was really new. They kind of try to contact my old coaches and my parents. But at the end of the day, no, I never directly spoke to anybody. Yes, sir. What's going on? Good to see you, Mr. Fowler. Yes, sir.
If you were meeting someone who had never met Matt Brown before,
okay,
how would you describe him?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Coach Brown, he's the most genuine, and he's the best with names I've ever known. You'll meet him for 2 seconds one day, 3 seconds, and you see him 2 years later, he'll know your name. He's the best. He knows your name, knows your family member's name. He cares about them, and the best thing Coach Brown is, he's always got a smile on him. You rarely catch him in a bad mood. He cares about you. He wants the best for everybody, and anytime you ever need anything, Coach Brown, that's the best thing about us players. Feel like you can go to him and ask him for anything.
So Drake, what was the name of the air conditioning company that you did the commercial for?
Mitchell Heating and Cooling. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Drake, you mentioned Sam Howell earlier about talking to him about what went right, what went wrong, lessons learned a couple years ago. What were some of the things he said didn't go right, or what he would do differently, maybe as he's giving advice to you with a high pressure season?
That's a good question. Like I said, that was kind of the main thing I try to take from him. What things he'd do over, what things he'd do again. The best thing that I got from him that he said he enjoyed, that was important to him, was taking care of all the office field stuff like NIL, and obviously agents are in the world now. Taking care of that stuff before the season, and either having an idea or getting that done and not worrying about that during the season. Kind of having that not on your mind as you're going out there for a snap against Duke or something. Taking that out of it and just worrying about football that season. And obviously, I think one of the cooler things he mentioned was getting your degree and how that can mean so much. And he got his in about 3 years, so he did it fast. He's a smart kid, and how he can go on and do better things outside of football now. After football, and hopefully his career lasts a long time. Excited for him this year. He just started one of his first days of camp, and the Commanders heard he had a great practice, so I need to keep in touch. He's awesome. So I think, like I said, I'll continue to ask him because he's been through everything. I'm same road. He's from Charlotte, went to North Carolina, played here. So just trying to, in this day and age with all the same stuff. So just trying to, like I said, soak up all I can from him because he's lived it, and I want to be in the position he's at.
All right, Drake.
We're good.
Yep.
Sweet.
Set. We're all good.